Hey guys, this is Dan with Gears and Gadgets. Thanks for tuning in. Today is my 6th video in a row for the Motovlogging for Movember fundraiser that I'm doing here, which we're just over 300 bucks right now. I'm real happy with that. If you guys can look down below, there is a donate button. Movember is a charity that focuses on men's mental health, suicide prevention, testicular cancer and prostate cancer, and just does a lot in the men's health arena. So I thought it would be great to come out here for the month of November and do a motovlog per day for the cause. So today's video, what I wanted to talk about was actually quitting YouTube. I watched a video from Jons Moto Garage yesterday. He actually just published it about quitting YouTube. And I don't want to bring this up lightly, because when I watched that video, you could tell, you know, John was really kind of dealing with the heavy thought of just everything that comes with having a YouTube channel. Now, to a lot of people out there just watching YouTube, if you haven't had the bug to start a channel, which you'll find when you start, that a lot of people reach out to you who do have that bug, and I'm sure a lot of people watching this channel have thought about it. There's a lot of stages that I've learned of YouTube channels, and when I watched John's video last night, it just really kind of rang true to me, being in this space of you know, the few times that I've been doing this where I'm like, man, I don't want to do this anymore. There's times when you're doing this that it just kind of starts feeling like maybe the work and effort isn't, you're not really getting out of it what you feel you're putting into it. And it's not all about money, it's not all about subscribers, it's not really one of those things in and of itself. Sometimes it can be a combination of just kind of everything, including things that, you know, home life. You know, we all have families, and the time that goes into doing these channels, sometimes you just feel like, hey, it's taking too much of my time. So as a bit of a student of YouTube, I've spent a lot of time not just creating content, but consuming content, and having people reach out about starting YouTube channels. And I've kind of learned a bit of a trend here. And it all kind of starts with watching YouTube, and whether you're, I don't know, underneath the kitchen sink trying to figure out how to clear a P-trap and don't know what you're looking at, and you know, pull up YouTube, find a video, and as you watch it, you think, I could do that. You know, who's this guy? He doesn't know what he's talking about. How hard can it be? And you kind of start watching those videos, and that, you know, it's kind of that seed is planted. Now, a lot of channels kind of start and stop at kind of the first phase that I would call it, which is you fire up a camera, whether it's your iPhone or some old camcorder you have, shoot something, put it into some cheap free editing software, kind of clunk through that a little bit and figure it out, and then delete it because you realize, well, this is just goofy, I was just talking to a camera, this is totally silly, and you know, it's never going to go anywhere, and delete it, never to be spoken of again. I think a lot of people get eaten up at that phase, but the people that make it past that phase, there's another phase that really kind of quickly weeds out a lot of people, which is you publish the video, 3 days later you come back and say, why don't I have 1 million views and 50,000 subscribers? This is harder than I thought it was, and dip. A lot of people kind of do that, or they kind of put a video out there and let it sit for 6 months and feel like, well, I never got traction with it, so it's dead. And it kind of gets eaten up there. So that's kind of the early out phase of YouTubers kind of quitting. The next phase that you go to, which is, I guess I would say, kind of like John's stage, my stage, which is the wash, rinse, repeat stage. You get to a point where you put whatever time you put into it, whether it's 1 video or 200 videos, and you start getting to a point where you're like, yeah, I'm making a couple bucks here or there, or I have, you know, 10,000 subscribers, but man, this is taking me 20-30 hours a week, and I'm not really seeing the results that I want to see. A lot of that's just internal. A lot of it's things you have to deal with on your own. And like John said yesterday, you know, if he quits, he quits. There's nothing wrong with that. I feel for John. I understand where he's at in that video. I have a huge amount of respect for the fact that John even put that video out, because there is, as we all talk about, you know, throttle therapy, there is this YouTube therapy also. Picking up a camera and just even roaming around your garage and talking about how you feel. It's not easy per se, but when you do it, there is a level of therapy that comes with that, because, well, you're talking about things. And as I'm doing this moto vlogging for Movember, there's a big part of me that just wanted to kind of tip my hat towards Jon's ability to do that, to work those feelings and emotions out in front of a camera. And whether you publish it or don't, he happened to publish it, and I think that's awesome. It's just genuine and it's honest, and I think that's why people like his channel like they do. So with that being said, you know, you get to this point of that wash, rinse, repeat, which if you look at anybody who has, I'm gonna kind of say, over 100,000 subscribers, you hit that threshold of 100K, and well, now you really kind of made it. I mean, you're still in the wash, rinse, repeat, but you're kind of, I don't want to say easy, because it's never easy. I don't want to ever take away from the amount of work that people at that level put in, because it just gets more of a business at that point. So it comes with a lot different levels of stress. There's not as many hobbyist YouTubers out there with over 100,000 subscribers. They exist, but you know, at that point you're kind of, I want to say you've made it, but you're always looking for more. It's kind of how we are as society. You know, we're always seeking for improvement. So it's just really easy in that early stage between, I think, 10,000 and 100,000 subscribers to hit that wash, rinse, repeat cycle and not see the fruits of your labor as you kind of thought that you would. Now, I always encourage everybody, be a student of YouTube. Watch other people's content, learn how they're doing transitions, ask questions. You'll be surprised a lot of YouTubers out there are willing to kind of help you out if they can. Now, the other phase of that, kind of in here where you might get to a point of quitting, and I've seen it, is where you're being a student of YouTube, but you start to kind of get to a point where you feel more like the teacher, and then you start questioning, like, why the people that you're watching are larger than you are. Like, well, I've put in all this work, and it's not fair. I think I should be here, and why is this person who I think is worse than me better than I am with subscribers? And it's a cancer to your thought process, and it's something that I'm lucky and happy that I have been very good at catching myself incredibly early on, to the point of basically being able to call myself an idiot and putting that stuff to bed rather quickly. I think there are some people out there that let that kind of eat them alive, and YouTube is very much your own race. You're doing what you're doing, and for me, the time that I put into this, yeah, I make a little bit of money on the side. It's cool to grow it as, I guess you'd say, a side business, a side hobby. Some people get in their cars and drive for Uber or Lyft. Some people have a part-time job cutting grass on the weekends, and I have a YouTube channel. It's something that brings me joy. I really do take pleasure in creating these videos. I actually take more pleasure in the editing process than I do the filming process, but that's a whole other thing, you know. It's just something you have to keep in perspective, constantly remind yourself why you're doing it, and if you ever get to the point of saying, like, hey, this isn't for me, I don't want to do it, there is no shame in getting out of the game at all. I've seen plenty of people get in this and then just kind of say, yeah, you know what, I don't want to do it anymore, or maybe I'll come back to it. But that is kind of my ultimate end goal for this whole video here, is the idea that you don't have to quit YouTube. And to somebody like Jon, I would say, you know, hey, you don't have to quit. Jump out and put a video out to your subscribers and say, guys, I'm going to step away from this for a bit. I don't know how long, you know, but a lot of YouTube is you being yourself. And if you're starting to kind of pump content out where you feel like you're just doing it to pump content out and you're not being yourself, it starts to become a little more transparent, and I think your viewers can see through that anyways. So to be honest and say, hey guys, look, I just don't want to do this for the time being, and I think I need to kind of step away. And then, hey, you know, maybe one of those videos you put out 6 months ago, because you have a bit of a library out there, you know, maybe one of those videos catches traction, you come back and, you know, your channel's grown 50, 100% from where it was last time you left off. You gain a little passion, you jump back into it. It does kind of suck to see people get dejected and feel that way, but I'm happy when people share that. because I feel like it's healthy for them. I think it helps their audience understand their mindset, and in this world of, you know, promoting as I am now, mental health awareness and the things that come along with it, there should be no shame in getting something off your chest. So in my opinion, I was just watching that video from John last night, and I felt the emotion. It felt real, and either he's the world's greatest actor, or that was somebody that was just being super genuine, and I support that. It's awesome, and I've personally felt that way with YouTube. But with that comes some responsibility and the feeling of like managing a business. It's really weird. It is really weird. But I wouldn't have it any other way. I really enjoy doing YouTube, and I think part of what kept me from ever quitting, and I'm not saying I never felt that way, because there are times I just, even turning a camera on was like, I don't want to do it. You know, I have a funny feeling by the time I'm done with this month of a video a day, that there might be a few days where I'm like, you know, I gotta do a damn video. But you know, this is different. I'm doing a video a day for charity, so you know, I'm doing this for a specific reason. I can never imagine doing it every day, having a full-time job on top of it. It's a lot. But you know, for me, I watch John, and I feel for the guy. He's local here. I think he's a great YouTuber, and I just wanted to talk about kind of the way that I see these YouTube channels develop, and when I watch people kind of bail out, and just to say, it's okay. It really is. There is no shame in it. It's a very humbling process. So with that being said, guys, I just kind of wanted to jump on. I absolutely 100% support Jons Moto Garage. If he came out and said, hey, I don't want to do this anymore, I quit, I'd be totally, hey, dude, I get it. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. I appreciate that he shared it, and it is what it is. So with that being said, guys, again, Motovlogging for Movember, link down below, the donate button. If you could throw a couple shekels, I would appreciate it. If not, cool, and I'm happy that you're enjoying the content. If you are, if you don't enjoy the content, so be it. It is what it is. We're not all likable by everybody. It's what makes us individuals. So thank you guys very much for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, please hit that subscribe button down below. Remember, likes go a long way to help support the channel, and I will see you guys tomorrow.